Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered a speech after winning a record post-Soviet landslide in Russia's election on Sunday. Initially, I would like to thank Russian citizens. We are all one team, all the Russian citizens who came to the polling stations and voted. Vladimir Putin won Russia's presidential election with 87.97% of the vote, according to the first official results shown on Sunday after polls closed. Workers at polling stations counted results in an election where Putin cemented his grip on power, although thousands of opponents staged a noon protest at polling. Vladimir Putin was leading in Russia's presidential election, the Central Election Commission said on Sunday after polls closed. Russian voters cheered on Yulia Navalnaya, the widow of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, as she joined their queue on Sunday to cast their vote at the Russian embassy in Berlin. After casting her ballot in Berlin, Yulia Navalnaya said that she wrote her late husband's name on the ballot paper. You are probably wondering what I wrote on the ballot papers, who I voted for. Of course I wrote Navalny's surname, because it just can't be so that a month before the election, and already during the presidential election campaign, Putin's main opponent, already in prison, was murdered. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said on Sunday that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to rule forever, and that Russia's presidential election was an illegitimate imitation. There is not a single bit of legitimacy in this simulation of an election, and there cannot be. This actor should be on trial in The Hague. That's what we have to ensure, together with everyone in the world that values life and decency. A man threw 2 petrol bombs into the courtyard of the Russian embassy in the Moldovan capital, Chisinau, where voting in Russia's presidential election was taking place on Sunday, TASS cited the embassy as saying. A group of protesters gathered near the Russian embassy in London on Sunday, decrying the re-election of President Vladimir Putin and paying homage to the late Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. A small group of protesters gathered in Paris in front of the Eiffel Tower on Sunday to protest against the re-election of President Vladimir Putin. Hundreds of Russian voters queued outside their embassy in Riga on Sunday, waiting to cast ballots in the presidential election. They admit they have little chance of influencing. I came here to say to others as well, no to the super dinosaur Putin. Up to 2,000 people were lining up around for 4 hours to vote in the presidential election at Russia's embassy in London on Sunday, with the line stretching just over 1 kilometre from the gates.